Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cabela's, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, Hoyman Tree Saws, Muddy Outdoors, and Realtree.
That's a pretty horse. Seriously. I want to drive one of those carts by the end of the season. All right, day 2 of the public land adventure. Collins and Josh went out last night and saw a pretty nice mature buck, and I ended up being in a little bit more constrained area, so I wasn't able to see as much as I wanted last night, but we did see a doe, so it was pretty successful for night 1. We got a lot of cameras out yesterday, so this morning we didn't hunt. We're gonna go ahead and do a lot more driving around and look at some property. Today, the piece of property that we're looking at actually can only be accessed from the south. So, I mean, it's gonna be a good north wind spot, but we're gonna go walk that property to see what it looks like and see what we can do with it. One thing that we've considered is knocking on some doors on some of the local neighbors there and see if maybe they'll let us walk down a fence line or something to get into the north side of this piece of property. But we're just gonna go ahead and get out, set some cameras, and see how this day goes for us. Dude, this is like Rutville, USA.
Yeah.
This side, like,
really this big ridge.
Really good
all
the side
around.
of these things, just inside the woods on each side of this valley. There's like a goat trail going down the side up there, and there's mature oaks, like 100-year-old oaks. Like as big as, like this big.
It was southwest
like
wind.
As big as ladies that you date. This big.
Really?
So we're in the middle of this piece of property that we have to come in from the south side, and there's a ton of mature oaks in here. Acorns everywhere. There's a huge bedding area on the west side, so it's actually setting up really nice for a rut spot. There's almost like it looks like a goat trail on this east side of this bedding area, which is perfect for during the rut, northwest wind. And the way we came in, I think we can get on the side of this hill, and these bucks should come along here and do some scent checking on this huge bedding area. So we're gonna keep tromping around here a little bit. This is definitely looking promising. I'm a little nervous though with how good it looks. That we may have to hammer this in October, because I think we're going to start running into people, especially when it comes time for the rut.
There's a connecting finger there, and that's John Collins.
To the west.
There's one there. There's one there.
I want to know what's in that field right there. And look at there's water back there too.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you can hunt in this corner right here, you'll be able to see all that field. You'll be able to hunt this thing right here. Southwest wind.
Right off that point there.
Yeah.
So when they dump down.
And this is that little narrow.
There's a pond back there.
That's probably only like 50 yards across.
I know that little narrow spot right there could be a killer for a north wind.
Looks like it's all syrupy right now.
It's a little green strip or something. Yeah. I mean, just look at all these connecting
I think
fingers.
that's all high. Because we're down in the bottom.
But I mean, that's like 3 or 4 different pieces.
All right, I think we're going to wrap up day 2 of our public land scouting here. It's pretty warm out. It's almost 80 degrees, and the wind's supposed to start to lay down, so I don't know if it's going to be a little too hot to actually do an observation set tonight, and I need to get back home. But I think the first weekend was a success. We were able to get an observation hunt in last night. Josh and Collins found a mature buck. We got multiple cameras out on scrapes, and obviously the landscape's going to continue to change here in the next couple weeks. And that's the beauty, is I have 2 or 3 weeks yet to try to identify and find ourselves a nice mature buck to build a strategy around, and then how we're going to get in and kill that deer. That was one thing Josh and I talked a lot about today. Was we're used to hunting private land so much, you're so cautious on how you're getting in and out, and not being too aggressive. But realistically, I mean, we're talking about thousands of acres, and if we're being too conservative, we don't even know what we're working with, and then come rut time, we don't know where these ridges are, where these acorn plots are, these cedar thickets, or what it even looks like, because the satellite images are not matching up with what we're actually seeing on the ground. So we were a little bit more aggressive today with a piece of land. We walked all through it, and it showed a ton of sign, good mature oaks, tons of acorns, and we really like how that's laying out, especially come rut time. So it's good to know that piece of property now. We did get a camera on a scrape there, but I would think that that's going to be more of a later spot. So we're going to go ahead and pack things up, be back at it here, give it a rest for 3 or 4 days, and try again next week. We're going to do some more observation hunts and just keep kind of poking around here and see if we can't find a mature buck to start going after.